What is going on, guys? It's your boy Dreamer from GotBetterBeats.com, and I am here doing this video a third time. Man, okay. Well, I think you guys are actually going to really enjoy this because I'm actually switching it up. Today we're actually talking about processing rap vocals. And I mean, yes, you can actually apply these principles to any type of vocals, podcast, this and that. So it's just, with podcasts, you probably wouldn't want to adjust them the same, because a lot of times with songs, in order to make them fit in the mix, you normally take a little more low end out, you boost top end and stuff like that. In podcasts, you want it to be more of a speaking voice in most cases. So more of a broadcast, nicely compressed vocal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually let you hear what we have, and we're going to go from there. And keep in mind that I made some adjustments in the last video, so everything might not be balanced perfectly, but I'm pretty sure with some quick tweaks, if I have to, I can get it right before the video is over. Okay, so this is what it sounds like right now.
Lord, please open my eyes. Let me see. Yeah. Lord, please open my eyes. Let me see. Answer my prayers. Get me where I need to be. Sometimes I go wrong with my thinking and my motion, but I hold on to your word. It's devotion. Lord, please open my eyes. Let me see. Answer my prayers. Get me where I need to be. Sometimes I go wrong with my thinking and my motion, but I'm staying strong cause you kept your arms open. I watch you opposing, cold-hearted, frozen. Stayed away from that, man, these people spirit towing. Burdens, I don't need it, so I had to show them. Perfect, how I treat them, love them from afar. I keep working on my...
Okay. So, all right, so let me take out everything, all the plugins real quick. And one of the things that you can actually see is, like, yes, the beat is compressed, and that's the main thing that you hear. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute the beat and play the vocals for you. That way we can actually get a nice A/B comparison of without the vocals, without the effects, and with the effects.
I watch you opposing, cold-hearted, frozen. Stayed away from that, man, these people spirit towing.
Okay, so let's engage everything and see what it sounds like.
I watch you opposing, cold-hearted, frozen. Stayed away from that, man, these people spirit towing. Burdens, I don't need it, so I had to show them. Perfect, how I treat them, love them from afar. I keep working.
Okay, and I know you can really hear the difference. And yes, there is a gain difference, but there's also a clarity difference as well. So let me go ahead and go through on what I did to get this. Let me take this out of here because I didn't use this. Okay, so the first thing I normally do when I'm bringing in some vocals to mix is I gain stage. The main thing that's gain stage is this beat, because this beat, like I said, it's more in the mastered state, so it's it's mixed to be pretty loud, so that way it'll stand out when it's getting played online. So as you can see, I have it brought down 7 dB on the gain stage, and I still have it pulled down on the fader at -4. And with the vocals, I have them, gain stage at about -3.5. These two at the top were recorded a little low, so those were left at 0. So the first thing I do as far as processing is I normally select all the vocals, and I add a bus to them for the vocal bus. And the reason why I do that is because I like to make sure that I can address the main issues without adding an EQ and a compressor on each and every channel. One of the things that does is it saves a lot of CPU, because if you have a really huge session and you're trying to use an EQ and a compressor, and you start really piling up. So honestly, what I do with with my main or my basic stuff that I know I'm going to be repeating over and over is I go ahead and create a vocal bus. That way I can just clean it up a little bit. That way, that will be taken care of. That way, when I want to go in and add in some sauce and different things on the individual channels, and that doesn't work with things like auto tune. So keep that in mind. There are certain plugins that work more for, to be placed on the channel. But this right here, this is just like cleanup work. So adding in a little bit of saturation, a little bit of EQ, a little bit of compression. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this, and I'm going to add in each effect one by one. And I'm going to just play a single track. That way we can really hear what these things are doing. Okay, so right now I have virtual mix rack up.
I watch who opposing, cold-hearted, frozen, stayed away from that. Man, these people spirit towing.
So this saturation, what it mainly does is it just adds in a little bit of grit. And I'm going to show you how it adds in that grit. I have it up at 5, and you can barely hear it. It's one of those things that you can feel more than you can hear. But when you overdo it, you can definitely hear it.
I watch who opposing, cold-hearted, frozen, stayed away from that. Man, these people spirit towing, burdens, I don't need it, so I had to show them. Perfect, how I treat them, love them from afar, I keep working on myself, Lord,
Okay, so, and honestly, I did push it up, but the thing about it is, these tracks are gain stage pretty well, so that way it's not going to get too gritty. But if you want to hear how it would sound like if I were to overdo it, let's see.
I watch who opposing, cold-hearted, frozen, stayed away from that. Man, these people spirit towing, burdens, I don't need it, so I had to show them.
So as you can see, it kind of gets to be more like you can really hear the distortion in it once you really crank it up. But that's one of the things that I do like about the Slate plugins. They are amazingly made, honestly. So, and the next thing I have is the FGA, which is an EQ, and it's just a nice simple EQ just to add in a little bit of top end, just to take a couple things out. And I also have the op amp option set.
I watch who opposing, cold-hearted, frozen, stayed away from that. Man, these people spirit towing, burdens, I don't need it, so I had to show them. Perfect, how I treat them, love them from afar, I keep working on myself, Lord, I know I'm gonna be judged.
And honestly, it's not really a major thing. Only thing I'm doing is adding in some top end and just kind of shaving off a little low end and dipping out the mids just a little bit, and the upper mids giving a little bit of boost. Just doing some shaping. I'm not really driving anything as far as like really trying to get, a pushing sound. And even with the compressor that I have, I'm doing really light work. Only thing I'm doing is really trying to control some of those peaks, as you'll be able to hear in just a second.
I watch who opposing, cold-hearted, frozen, stayed away from that. Man, these people spirit towing, burdens, I don't need it, so I had to show them. Perfect, how I treat them, love them from afar, I keep working on myself. Lord, I know I'm gonna be judged when it come to death. Enemies, I show them love.
And so it's a very, very smooth compressor. The way I have it set, I just really, I'm just really trying to control some of these peaks. So it's not really anything to try to drive up the signal or anything like that. So, and the only thing I did with this is just to try to clean it up a little bit. And with this EQ I put after it, I just took out dipped out a couple little frequencies that was a little harsh, and I shaved off some of the low end because he has a very full voice.
I watch who opposing, cold-hearted, frozen. Stayed away from that, man, these people spirit towing. Burdens, I don't need it, so I had to show them. Perfect, how I treat them, love them from afar. I keep working on myself, Lord, I know I'm gonna be judged. When it come to death, enemies, I show them love. I don't hold no grudge, Lord, take it away. If they ain't trying to take my life, then God bless them, okay. Heard them bash my name, throwing dirt on it daily. I just stay in my lane, and you the Lord that I'm serving. Clean me up.
Okay, and I know you wondering how I'm really getting it to cut through the mix like that. It is this channel right here, which would be the parallel compression. So I'm just adding in a little bit of compression with the all buttons in, and I'm adding in a little bit of EQ with the white channel. And I'm going to show you how that affects the lead vocals, because when I disengage it, you'll be able to hear it. So I'm going to play it with it, and then I'm going to take it out.
I watch who opposing, cold-hearted, frozen. Stayed away from that, man, these people spirit towing. Burdens, I don't need it, so I had to show.
And I know you're thinking like that's a major difference. But the thing about parallel processing is, well, let me tell you what it does first. Parallel processing, you create a second stream of audio of whatever you're sending to it, and you process the second set of audio, and then you blend in the signal. So that way, if you're trying to add in some grit when you really don't want to sabotage the main signal, you just want to kind of add something to it. Maybe you want to add a little air, so you add in an EQ, maybe a Pultec EQ, and you just crank it up a little bit on the high end. You're able to do things like that. If you want to add in some saturation to the compressed signal and just kind of blend it, it works a lot better. And you can really do some cool things with that, especially with like your drums and stuff like that, to really get them to punch without trying to overdrive or just, over maximize, or having the limiter crush your transients. So yeah, but that'll be in a different video. So that's a cool thing that I did. The ad-libs were a really cool thing. I did some small stuff with the ad-libs. So let me let you hear them real fast.
Yeah. Open. Please.
Okay. And one of the things that I did was, as you can see, I took a lot of the lows out. I took some of the super high end off, and I just gave it a little bit of bump at 5K, mainly because I wanted it to cut through just a little bit. I added in an analog delay, and I just set it for 775 milliseconds. I just kind of did it to taste. I didn't want to do the sync. For some reason, sync wasn't really matching up the way it needed to. And I added in a flanger, and the flanger just kind of adds in a nice bit of, it just adds in a little bit of flavor to where it doesn't match like the regular audio, and it helps it stand out. So if you want to hear it, I'm going to play everything all together.
Yeah. Lord, please open my eyes, let me see. Answer my prayers, get me where I need to be. Sometimes I go wrong with my thinking and my motion, but I hold on to your word, it's devotion. Lord, please open my eyes, let me see. Answer my prayers.
So, I just made it in a way where you don't have to crank it up so high to really be able to hear it. And so little things like adding in that delay and that flanger just kind of make it stand out a little bit, to where you don't have to crank up the volume and just have it take over. It's really tucked away nice in the background. And let's see, because I really kept it simple. I kept it very, very simple on this track. And the last thing I would say that I did was I added in just a regular, simple Native Instruments reverb. A lot of times my reverb, I like it to sound as natural as possible. I don't like it to sound like I'm using too much reverb, because to me, that's just a bit of a turnoff when it comes to music. With everything added in, let me just let you guys hear what it sounds like all together, now that we've kind of went over everything, because I kept it very, very simple. So the main thing that I would say for you guys to know is one of the tricks that I would use is definitely using a vocal bus. That way you can actually do your cleanup, and experiment with a little bit of saturation and things like that, and parallel compression. I don't need this. So experiment with those things, and if you have questions down below, let me know. I'm going to just go ahead and play this track out so you guys can hear it, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Lord, please open my eyes. Let me see. Yeah. Lord, please open my eyes. Let me see. Answer my prayers. Get me where I need to be. Sometimes I go wrong with my thinking and my motion, but I hold on to your word, it's devotion. Lord, please open my eyes, let me see. Answer my prayers, get me where I need to be. Sometimes I go wrong with my thinking and my motion, but I'm staying strong cause you kept your arms open. I watch you opposing, cold-hearted, frozen. Stayed away from that, man, these people spirit towing. Burdens, I don't need it, so I had to show them. Perfect, how I treat them, love them from afar. I keep working on myself, Lord, I know I'm gon' be judged. When it come to death, enemies, I show them love. I don't hold no grudge, Lord, take it away. If they ain't trying to take my life, then God bless them, okay. Heard them bash my name, throwing dirt on it daily. I just stay in my lane, and you the Lord that I'm serving. Clean me up, all the dirt, Father, be my detergent. When I'm feeling like I'm stuck, take the pain when I'm hurting. It's the good fight now, I push right now. It's all God's love, if your question is how I did it, admit it, I do. Thank you for change.